More open podcast with your host Rome
Rolanda.
and we're gonna bring you today, like what you always be saying, Ro. You had to live underneath a rock if you don't know nothing about this case, the Amber Guyger case. You gotta be underneath a rock or in underneath the ocean or something. You know what I'm saying? The Amber Guyger. Yeah, you gotta be somewhere. But the Amber Guyger case, like everybody know that she was convicted of murder yesterday and she was sentenced today and sentenced for 10 years. But we're gonna just go a little recap if you don't know, saying about the case and everything. So you wanna go do a recap, Ro?
Yep, I can do that. So for those of y'all that's not really familiar or just been seeing bits and pieces of it, not really following the case, because a lot of people do act like they aren't really interested, but of course majority of us are. But so she was she's an ex Dallas cop. She's Caucasian, and she lived in an apartment building. She lived on the third floor. She got off of work, and I'm gonna try to make this as short as possible, just to make a brief summary.
Yeah.
I guess we can come back to the other part too, but basically, she shot a black man. She shot Botham John in his house. He lived directly over top of her. She thought that she was going into her home, but was walking into his home, and she shot him. And then it's not even funny, so let me stop laughing because there's no joke in that at all. Like the trial, like no lie, it broke me down. Like I had to start watching it for a few because it was really messing with me mentally. And I see what they say about those jurors, how and they did offer that to the jurors at the end of the trial too, if they needed therapy or anything, because it can mentally, it was emotional. It was very emotional. But she shot this young man. She shot him to kill. He had no weapons. He had no nothing. Like he was defenseless.
Yeah.
And she shot him dead. In his apartment. So, look, you just chimed in, Rome. It just it really had me boggled.
Yeah.
Because go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying. I was just gonna add into it, and after she did it, she wasn't charged immediately. It was like 18 days after that. After she done that, then that's when she was charged with,
right. And I don't know if she had some type of connection with the Texas Rangers. And I don't even know if they have jurisdiction over Dallas police, but they hopped into it, and they were the ones that was drawing it out with, so she wasn't being arrested immediately, and like they were really giving her special privileges.
Yeah, and like we gonna go into that. Like I feel for the whole case, if people was following it, just seems something fishy about the whole thing, because me following it and the circumstances that happened. As far as she mistakenly in the wrong apartment, yeah, people make mistakes, but it's like you intentionally, droid your weapon and fired your weapon, and you wanted to kill somebody, and you did, and
right.
It's just like too many. It's too many. It's just like too much stuff, and then it's like what we were talking about earlier. It just seemed like it's a real big piece missing from this story.
It's just so many, things are just too coincidental. Like it's just too it just really doesn't make sense. It's just certain parts. And again, y'all have to have really been following the trial to really understand where we coming from as far as something ain't right. Something is
it just don't seem right. Like from when the trial started off, and then when she got on stand and you was telling me, you was like, Rome. She was crying, she was doing this, she was saying this and all that, and it was like they turned it away from.
It's like she was. I'm not gonna say she was acting, but she put on a great performance. I can tell you that.
And it's like the case flipped from this young man when he was 26 years old that lost his life. You know what I'm saying? And I think it could have been avoided. We're gonna go in that, but for him to lose his life and then it's turned around like she was the victim.
They made her like she was the victim.
Yeah, it's like they made
it like she was the victim.
You know what I'm saying? And going into that, after she shot this man, sitting on the couch in some shorts, eating ice cream in the dark, watching TV. You know what I'm saying?
Right, Ron. So let's go back. Right. So it's like, all right, first and foremost, and we don't, well, I know I don't think, and you said you don't think either after following the trial, I don't think that this was premeditated.
I don't think it was premeditated, no.
Right. she got off of work. First and foremost, I feel like, because I have cheated while I was married as well too, so I'm not gonna say that should go against my character. But at the same time, when you on trial, that kind of goes against your character because, and if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, when she was getting off of work, she was texting the guy that was in charge of her. She was with the CRT team, which was a special team of the force. There was only 5 of them in their sergeant. Yeah. She was sleeping with the sergeant who was married. Now, when she got off of work that day on September 6th, 2018, she was texting him, and she was texting him how she was horny, she wanted to touch, and this, that, and the third. So, honestly, I feel like she was so on it, they had video came, I think, with some footage of her from somewhere where she pulled over a few minutes before the apartment, but she was still on the phone. Yeah. So I feel like she was so engaged in this conversation. It's like she possibly very well could have went to the wrong floor. Yeah. I don't
dismiss none of that. I just have a problem with her drawing her weapon and firing it 2 times.
You shot to kill, like you
know what I'm saying? Instead of really diffusing the situation. And then I was saying that she could have called for backup. And they would have been there.
Call for no backup.
You know what I'm saying?
She didn't go for cover. Like they said, that was part of training. When you they say when you interact with a suspect, and if you think that you're in harm, especially if they don't have a weapon, you're supposed to hide for cover and call for backup. She did none of that.
And then better yet, after she fired her weapon, she did not do CPR on this man. And you brought it to my knowledge that she had a bag containing, you know what I'm saying, like a what you say, a kit?
She had a book bag. Yeah, it was a book bag. They said it was the kit. The kit was never even open. She actually had 2 of the kits in her book bag. It was never open, and it's for whenever they, come on the scene with a gunshot wound, a victim, to try to, it'll help them to stop bleeding.
Stop the bleeding,
it's something to stop their spot, and it stops the bleeding. She didn't help them at all. At all.
And I listened to, the audio, and all she kept on was trying to encourage him, hang on, bud, hang on. You know what I'm saying? Hang on, bud, instead of administrating CPR to this guy until, the EMTs came in.
I felt like it was all about her.
Yeah.
At that point, she was worried about herself.
She was worried about her job, and that really kind of pissed me off. You know what I'm saying? That pissed me off, listening to this. And this man, you know what I'm saying, I wasn't there, but I could imagine he's laying on the floor bleeding to death, and this woman is saying, I fucked up, I'm going to lose my job. You know what I'm saying? And I'm
I fucked up, I'm going to lose my job.
And it's a life there that she done shot this man in his home where he thought he was safe. You know what I'm saying? In his home.
And they try to make it like she was so remorseful, Roman. That's my thing. They should have brought that up. I think the state did good, but they could have went in even harder, because how are you remorseful? If you are so nice and you so remorseful, and I know we don't think, we think different in that particular moment, but
she's trained for that.
You're so caring of civilians. Once you realize you killed that innocent man, instead of you, hey bud, hold on, hey bud, you'd have been giving him CPR. You would have been trying to stop him. You've been trying to do anything to save that man's life.
She was trained for that, and like they said, prosecutors and stuff were saying too that you used some of your training when it came to shooting him, but you didn't use this training trying to save his life.
Not at all.
You know what I'm saying? Which all that was, you was trained for all those type of situations. A
lot of things too, y'all, well, of course we saw it, but the jury didn't see, because that judge, Tammy Kemp, I felt like you said in the beginning, she was all for the victim. I felt like, the Botham John family. Yeah. But as it went on, something happened.
It flipped. Everybody, I'm telling you,
that we don't know about.
I'm telling you, once I really got into following the case, it's like everything I read about it, everybody seemed that this woman was right in what she was doing. She was justified for killing this man. You know what I'm saying? She was justified. Yeah. And like going back to what we said, people make mistakes. I understand she walked into the wrong apartment, but she did not have to fire her weapon.
And she said it. She said she shot to kill.
She shot to kill. Why?
Why did you shoot?
Why was you threatened? Because you could see his hands, because he didn't have no pockets. His hand wasn't in his pocket, so he wasn't concealing a weapon. It wasn't no weapons or nothing found. So. And
to go into that deeper into that too, what I was thinking is another theory, because again, like I said, don't nobody know except for God, Botham, and Amber what really happened. Yeah. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, and I feel like I don't think, if I'm not mistaken, I think they wasn't able to tell the jury, present this. The judge didn't allow them to present this part to the jury, from my understanding. And I could be wrong. Somebody could correct me if they heard them talk about it. But with her doing volunteer work on the weekends for the apartment, securing the building and stuff. This was her off duty. She was off duty on the weekend. When she was off, she would secure the apartment building where they lived in. So you knew this man. You knew that he lived there. Yeah. They also said that there had been complaints of her calling in the office, complaining about, I guess, his loud music, but they thought he plays gospel and the smell of marijuana.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I just feel like there's a lot of key factors to really, I don't know, and it really boggled my like watching that trial. It broke me down. Yeah. When I saw his sister, his father, I was literally in here crying.
Because I watched where they brought her mother, Karen Guyger, up there, and she started to testify about how she was molested and how, she was a carefree little girl, but that, and they, and like what we was talking about earlier, what did that have to do with, she was 6.
And not children that's been molested or anything.
We just saying, where do those two go into?
But that don't have nothing to do with this.
So if that's the case, if her mental stability was not good, why was she accepted into as a police officer? So was that brought up then? Did she have a mental evaluation? Was any of that brought up? About her mental state, as far as
None of that.
None of that. So if they was that's the thing too. If they was mentioning that, so they was trying to bring that into her mental stability, which, like what we just said, if that was the case, she would not be a police officer. And then another thing I didn't like even, it's like they were saying that these racial allegations of her came up, during this sentencing thing, right?
It did. She was talking about Dr. Martin Luther King.
But this is my thing though, Rose, was they put these black people on the stand to try to show that she wasn't racist, and I'm like looking at this and like, yo, for real?
Yo, did you see when she had the black crack?
No, I didn't take her on
and that. Was the key. I seen that key witness. You had to go back and watch.
Yo, I don't even, to this point, I really don't want to see that fuckery, because that's what it is, seems to me.
And that's exactly what it is.
It seems fuckery, man, because it's like what we talked about this earlier too. Like, I believe, and not trying to throw the race card, if that was a black officer, it wouldn't went down like that. You know what I'm saying? And that was a white person, it wouldn't have went down like that. If the colors was reversed, he would have been already convicted. This case would have been over with.
Probably would have got the death penalty.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that's the whole thing I get. You know what I'm saying? The whole thing I don't get. You know what I'm saying? With the race, with the whole race thing. If it was switched around, they got justice. You know what I'm saying? To me, and then let's go into this. She got 10 years. Now, break it down what these 10 years mean that she got, Rosie.
So, the judge clearly informed the jurors, as well as, the defendant, the prosecutors, the state, everybody, that she informed them all. When she was going over the rules of the sentencing and them finding her guilty or, innocent or whatever the case may be, she said if she was to be found guilty and if she gets 10 years or less,
listen to this,
able to file an appeal and be at home while she's waiting on her retrial.
Listen to this.
They have to have given her at least 11 years or more. It wasn't 10 years or more. It wasn't less than 10 years. It was 10 years or less. And I just find that really ironic that they give her exactly 10 years. She's going to bail out. So once, I promise you, I bet you I can bet money that her lawyers are doing that appeal paperwork right now.
Yeah.
And tomorrow she can go up for bail, because once they put in the appeal, she's eligible to go up for bond. Yeah. And then she can come home.
Yeah, and like for real, I never heard of no one getting 10 years for murder. I didn't. Not
never.
Even Michael Vick didn't. Even Michael Vick got more time than that.
But that's what I'm saying, Ron. They might as well have shot it down and went ahead and dumbed it down and made it to manslaughter. Because if y'all was going to do that, and you got murder. Most people getting at least 25 years for murder, at least.
And you know what? I heard it was some activists. I I think the guy was named Benjamin or Dad.
I saw the activist.
Yeah. And it was talking about how this was a big accomplishment. It was for Aaron guy. I mean, what was the guy? Oh man.
Yeah, Botham.
No, everybody else. That got killed, like Freddie Gray.
Oh yeah, he even brought up Freddie Gray. I'm not Freddie Gray, the one with the hoodie. He brought up him.
Yeah.
They got killed by the white
guy. Trayvon Martin, but they put all them in in the thing. Every time I hear when somebody talk about that, they talk about Freddie Gray. They talk about what's his name.
But that's a totally different situation. They're totally, to me, it's police brutality.
Mm.
Some form of police brutality, but. Man, I feel like this case is me personally, I feel like they can't compare that to that. They can't.
Well, they throw it in there. Everybody that was killed in police custody or died in police custody, I noticed that's how they throw the names in there. And they was mentioning all those to say that this was this was a statement to them, like an accomplishment to them. And then that was yesterday. Now today she got 10 years and going to appeal and going to walk. So
then she's going home, yeah. And guess what? They're going to drag that retrial out. She probably going to get retrialed until 5 years from now.
Yeah, so, it's like, and then I wonder would more stuff come out to incriminate her. But at this time, it's like, it seems like whoever, it's an influence on this case. And I keep saying that it just don't seem right. It just don't seem right. Even with, what's his name, David Armstrong, which was the lead investigator on this case, he clearly said he don't feel that she did nothing wrong.
He thinks she was innocent. And they didn't allow, that they did keep from the juror. The juror wasn't allowed to hear his testimony.
Yeah, but my whole thing is she could have got in the wrong apartment. It was a faulty door. She may mistakenly went in there, but it was too much telltale signs that wasn't her apartment. But better yet,
from the red mat outside.
But better yet, find her weapon 2 times into a person, and left their body on the ground while she calling what she called the fling, she called her.
Yeah,
first,
she called the mistress. Well, she's his mistress, Fred.
Yeah, she called her, her side dude or her married or whatever, her fling, her affair. She called him first before she called 911. Then she called.
But that's what I was saying. That I learned in the closing argument. Even after, maybe days after the murder, and they like, because the state brought this up. You were so hurt and you were so distraught, and the way you were up on the stand crying and doing this, that, and the third. But a few days right after the murder, y'all made plans to hook back. You on the phone again, texting Joe Blow to hook up with that man. So you couldn't have been that, distraught because days afterwards you hooking up to go get you some piece. You getting that piece that you missed on September 6th.
But then also too, if you want to go into it, her dealing with a fellow officer, that's against their rules, period.
That was against the law.
You know what I'm saying? That is against our rules. So if anything should have been brought up about her character, they bringing up all that good stuff. Why wasn't this really brought to the jurors to say, to show they trying to see that she was an angel, but no, she wasn't no angel.
Well, that judge was stopping so much stuff from the jurors. I felt like she was doing that on purpose. There was so much stuff.
I'm telling you,
that
Ro,
she was stopping the jurors from hearing.
I'm telling you, Ro, that case just smelled like some interference. It smelled like some interference. It's like, somebody had influential, tactics.
And did you watch the judge, though? Just her whole behavior and her movements, and even another judge they had another judge as a commentator on the whole case on WFAA, and they was in the courtroom, and the judge was saying, he was a white judge, and he was even saying like her character was just kind of, because as a judge you can't show emotion. You're not supposed to show emotion or none of that, because in the beginning at one point she was crying, and then if you notice right after they were doing right after they did the character witnesses, that wasn't even 15 minutes, and she straight went on break. And he said that's very strange. He said that was very, very strange. He said now he don't know if she went to the chamber to cry. Now this is a judge saying this. He don't know what, but for her to inconvene only after 15 minutes of them giving their character witness, for her to go to lunch like that was just strange. And he was just saying her behavior. If you go back, and I'm telling you, she just standing around and then she's pacing the floor.
I stick with it's some influence. I don't know why this case why this case had to go down the way it did, but somebody, the powers to be, somebody in some high places had something to do in Dallas or wherever, because like you said, the whole feeling of this case just flipped. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
From day by day, you know what I'm saying?
Even at the end,
it totally flipped.
And
man.
I posted some of it, but I didn't get that clip because I was so just like I just stopped recording because I was screen recording the whole trial, the whole sentencing part. And at the end, the brother, Bottom John's brother, like it boggles my mind, but at the same time, I'm trying to transition. It's not transition, but I'm trying to learn that whole, get that spiritual knowledge. So I understand you have to forgive people, but he asked the judge, is it okay if I hug Amber? She ran over there to him. Wait till you see how fast she ran to get that black man a hug. And she's sobbing on his arm, and he's basically made a statement. Black Murder Inc., I think, posted it. He made a statement afterwards, after they left out of court. And he said he didn't want to say this in front of his family. He didn't want to say it to his family during the trial. But he don't want Amber to go to jail. He don't want her to do any jail time, and he feel like his brother wouldn't want her to do any jail time either. He thinks his brother would want her to get right with God.
Yo.
I'm just looking like...
I'm like this. I don't mean no harm.
I'm not good.
I believe in God and everything, but she killed my loved one. It's blood. It's straight.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, God,
I'm not to that degree.
I forgive her, but I can't. Like, you don't want her to do no time?
No, I couldn't. No, and for real, I could not. I could not forgive her because for real, she could have did other things. She could have shot, if that was my brother, she could have shot my brother in his arm. She could have shot him in his leg. You know what I'm saying? She could have shot a warning shot or whatever, and that would have stopped him in his track. And then she could have, called in, I got a weapon on the guy, called in anything. She could have did a million other things other than put 2 shots in this 26-year-old African American in his own home, sitting down eating ice cream. You know what I'm saying? I really think it was so much stuff that she could have done that she didn't do. You know what I'm saying? And the stuff that she did.
Because she chose not to, I feel like she didn't care. I really feel like she did not care.
And the stuff that she did do, she shouldn't have did. You know what I'm saying? Sure. She shouldn't have did.
You got text messages. They even went through the text messages with her and her girlfriends. And, she was just talking to her and her girlfriends how, basically said she don't fuck with nobody but them. She don't love anybody but just them. And, they was going through her Pinterest account and how she was on there bragging about how every day she's dressed for a funeral every day, so she's waiting for the smoke. And, it was just so much rich stuff she was talking. Where do you find that to be, just caring, kind, civilian?
I know. It was hard for me to believe that when I heard that tape and this guy, like I said, I'm imagining him laying on the floor in blood. And she on the phone, hold on, bud, and not trying to administrate CPR or nothing.
Not
trying
even
to save this dude and
not
really was too concerned about her losing her job.
What else, though?
Huh?
That's what else. The dispatcher never told her to do shit.
Yeah, that too.
The dispatcher never. Like, that's a part of her job as well, and I feel like she should get something. You never asked that lady was she administering CPR. Are you trying to help? Like, she never gave her instructions.
You're right. You're right. But my whole thing, too, though, is like she was trained for that. She was. Now, you fucked up. You know what I'm saying? You know she fucked up. So what you want to do to try to, help this situation to do something? While she was on the phone, she could have had the phone on speaker and been trying to, do it. I'm doing CPR now. Where's EMT? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to where's EMT? I'm doing it now. You know what I'm saying? Hurry up, please. And you would hear me 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, breathing, doing, doing the technique.
Absolutely. And they even asked the officer, the one she was sleeping with, they even had, they had him on the stand, and they even asked him about that. Do you think that she was wrong for that? what would you have been doing? And that's what he said. He said she shouldn't have been texting. He said she shouldn't have been texting. She should have been, administering CPR. She should have been doing, he was agreeing with everything that they were saying. And I mean, of course, at this point, he's going to anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Because his shit fucked up. His wife probably going to leave his ass. So.
And I'm sure he probably lost his job. If he definitely should have lost his job.
Well, I don't know that.
You don't think so?
Man. I'm like what you made a statement, like not to go off subject when we was talking about the Tekashi thing, and it was like how stuff is these days. And you know what I'm saying? You're right. It's like how you know what I'm saying, how stuff is these days, and just to see how many law enforcement agents has got off on like really pretty much murder. You know what I'm saying? And like what we was talking about before, which is going to be another topic that we was going to talk about, that we feel, now I just say I feel, we feel that a police officer power and authority is too much for a human. Too much. It's too much for a human.
As soon as you brought that to my attention, it really was like a light bulb went off in my head. Like, wait a minute, you're right. Like, how can it never? Because they're no different than you and I, because they went through a little bit of training, a little bit of what they call amnesty training, and you did a little running and did the academy. Yeah, that don't make you no different. You're a regular civilian and with a U.S. citizen like me. You should not have power over my life.
You have power. You know what I'm saying?
You should not have that power to be able to kill me or anybody else.
Anybody. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, this is a prime example showing you why they shouldn't have that type of authority like that, because of, look, it was a mistake she made going into the apartment, but then she also made a mistake and took somebody's life. So
let me ask you this. So if one would say, and I mean, like the viewers or somebody, well, we need police officers or we need protection, so what should they be able to do, or who should be that power, or who should have power?
I think who would you say? I think they need to go through. Whatever the requirements.
Like the martial law people.
What are the
training and all that?
I'm saying whatever the requirements is. I think it need to be intense, and it needs to be the most strictest, the most. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're trying to go.
You don't even have to go to college. She said she quit college because she seen that the police department was hiring.
but then look, like when you gotta go into NASA or be an astronaut or Air Force, it's so much you gotta go through. They just don't let anybody be no astronaut or Air Force or none of that. They just don't let nobody. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what? Maybe having a criminal justice degree or something too would be a plus. Because, you don't have to have no college education at all. But maybe having that would be, and I'm not just saying just
but I'm just saying, though,
would be.
I think, like you said, I think you need those credentials or whatever to be in that field. You know what I'm saying? I think they need to make that, you know what I'm saying? I think they need to make that not just, it's like, that means, like, if I didn't have no felonies and all that stuff on my record, I can go ahead and be a police.
For sure.
But look, I'm bipolar, though. I'm bipolar.
Doesn't even matter.
It doesn't.
All of us bipolar. Shit.
But no, I'm just saying, though, but as far as having, like, an issue or condition that I know I had, you know what I'm saying? And that, sometimes.
That doesn't even matter.
Huh? Yeah, I see it don't.
Yeah, that doesn't even matter.
See, it doesn't, but it should. You know what I'm saying? I think they need to go through these candidates or these cadets and all that stuff with a fine-tooth comb. Even when you're going through Westport and all that shit, or they go through more. I put it like this, like a ranger school and all that, even though it's military and whatever like that. But
right, so that's what I was saying. That's what the people from the people that's a part of that martial law. That's what they do, and that's what they are. Like they went through all of that. They had to go through all of that.
The ranger school is like on another level. But the thing But the thing about it though is like what you're saying is like, now think about this. She's a college dropout. She don't have none of those type of credentials, and they giving these type of people power over civilians.
Yep. And I never thought about that until you brought it up. And I agree with you 100%.
You know what I'm saying? Over civilians. And it's just tripped me out, man. This whole case just tripped me out, and it's just like I'm gonna write a blog about it. I'm gonna write something about it because it just had me like sitting out front of my house just sitting in a daze, man. Like, yo, I really don't believe that this woman got 10 years for taking this man's life. I never really followed nothing as much as I followed this case and really got into it from the first time I heard it one morning, and it just like tripped me out. And it's like I really got into, into this case, and it's like,
That's how I am, and that's how I've been. I'm telling you, that's how I've been. Your mind, every moment you get to sit and think, even now, it's just like, oh, what? This is the world we live in.
Yeah.
This is our justice system. These are the people that's supposed to save and protect us and, make sure everything is good.
Man, but
like these are the people we're supposed to put our trust in.
Yo, it's like
at the end of the day.
It's like crazy that like far as it goes, look at our president. So man, I already know everything else is shot this shit.
I ain't even want to go there because I was going to go there when we were talking about the civilians. I was going to say better yet, look at our president. How can we have somebody like that because he got a lot of money and he ran a business that makes him qualified to run the whole United States of America? Hell no.
Man.
Hell
no.
That's why we got so many candidates running now, not to jump off track.
Yeah,
but it's about 50 people running for president.
Yeah. But to go
sad situation.
But to go back with this thing, man, it's like from the start, it's like I understand how she was justified, for killing this man in his own home. That's like me making a mistake coming in your home and then shooting you. You know what I'm saying?
Home not even peace. Home not even peace.
You know what I'm saying? And shooting you in your own home where you pay rent, where you feeling come on. And then just to get
10 years. But even 10 years, she's not going to do 10 years. So let's just say even appeal. Say if she don't appeal it, or even if because my thing is, BITCH, you feel so bad and you wish you was the one that got shot. How about not appeal it then to take that 10 years?
Yep.
Let's see if you're going to do that.
No.
You feel so guilty. I'm just saying, that's what she said on the stand, right? She got so much remorse. She feels so guilty. She wished that she was the one that got shot and he was the opposite person. Yeah, I bet you would because he would be going to jail. But if you're really so remorseful, don't appeal that 10 years that they gave you.
Yeah, and I'm just being real. I could not be the brother and be like that. No, I could not even be near that woman because I was trying to choke the fucking life out of her ass. It would have been another case. It would have been my case killing her ass. I'm not at that point, and you know what I'm saying? And like, yo, come on. Especially my loved one. That's like, say, my sister, man. I've been, see somebody take my sister away from me like that, you know what I'm saying? And then they playing it like she's the victim. Oh, hell no. Hell no. That's why I'm saying, Roski, I know it's people like that is, you know what I'm saying, is very, forgiving and stuff like that. I just feel it's some influence on his face. I keep, you know what I'm saying? That's my opinion. I think there's some powers to be or something has something to do. And Rosie, we keep saying this, right? So if we hear somebody else say this, and y'all know who we talking about.
Right, this is where they got it from, as always.
I just knew that a lot.
Wendy Williams. Who else would say Hot 97? The hell?
She named names.
It's not fair that these big platforms always take credit because of your smaller platform. They know that you're not going to, you know what I mean? Like, it's not going to make a difference. Ain't nobody, whatever.
The next shoot the shit. But, I just feel that for real, though, Ro, I ain't lying. I just have that feeling it just flipped like a light switch, yo. And whoever heard of those type of, terms put into a murder trial, And
then it was something else. It's called the Castello case or some law that her defense team found, and they were trying to say that, man, I ain't even going to speak on y'all because I can't remember it. Or it was on some other stuff that I ain't even know nothing about. But whatever the case may be, it was something that benefits her, and the judge accepted that. But the other judge, commentators and stuff, was saying that should never even been accepted because that don't even fit her and what she did.
Don't even fit the thing. It's like they tried everything underneath.
Anything to save
like
her,
somebody came to her like, Amber, I got you, baby. I got you.
Pretty much.
You know what I'm saying?
Pretty much.
And that's what I'm feeling. It's like it's something. Somebody has some influence. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? But this American justice system now. This is how. This the structure of it now. You know what I'm saying? This the structure.
That's right, and that's why, Ron, we really gotta. You know, y'all, we had so far has been two people that we don't even know that somebody told them about our podcast, and they have reached out and they want to. It's about police brutality and the criminal justice reform. And, they really have cases, and they want to use our platform to get their story out there. Yeah. They not trying to contact the newscasters or no big platforms. They contacted us. So we definitely going to start doing now criminal reform-ish.
And then another thing, too, like what you talked to me earlier, and I'm saying that to everybody out here, the role expressed to me, and it's the truth. We know, we learning all this other stuff. You take all this time watching reality TV, time watching the soaps or watching Power and everything. Get the power and learn these laws.
Learn our laws.
Learn these laws. Read up on a couple laws. You know what I'm saying? Know your rights. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not just saying that everybody, even for myself. You know what I'm saying?
Including myself.
You know what I'm saying? Including myself. We need to know our rights and know our laws and everything. You know what I'm saying? And know what's, what's going on. Because this shit is just sprung on us and thrown on us like, you know what I'm saying? Like we just, it's children, like ignorant, ignorant children.
This is bigger than us, Nino.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And another thing.
I'm laughing, but I'm being so serious. This really is bigger than us.
And another thing I want to say, you know what I'm saying, about this too, to go into the whole thing, learn our laws and everything. I'm looking online, see all these challenges, right? People always challenge people to do something. I challenge these black men to go out there and mentor to a kid that needs that you see in the neighborhood or whatever. Go out there and mentor. That's the challenge. That's the challenge. And I'm also doing it myself too. I'm seeing a couple guys, young dudes in my neighborhood that I'm gonna go to and talk to because they are the ones that are losing their life. You know what I'm saying? To each other, they killing each other, and also that these cops are killing them.
They're our future. And they're our future.
Exactly.
We're not going to have no future.
Exactly. We're not going to have nothing, and it's up to us. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing all these challenges. I never seen nobody challenge. I challenge y'all to go out there and do that. And post that. If you want.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying? Post that.
Screen record this part and repost that and share that and see how many people volunteer and gonna comment and say that they're in.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, our males are losing their life at an alarming rate, man. You know what I'm saying? Look at this. Just look at this 26-year-old man. His daughter mistakenly somebody come into his house and kill him, and then they pretty much got off. You know what I'm saying? Because the way you broke down the whole thing to me, she got off. When I heard that, when I seen 10 years, I said, man, because we already talked about. I know everybody else like.
If none of that other stuff even mattered, even with 10 years, she only gonna do about 5.
But the whole
even if none of that other stuff counted, she only gonna do about 5.
But the whole thing, when you told me about the whole, you know what I'm saying, the whole terms of
about
the thing, I seen 10 years, everybody, she got 10. No, that shit don't mean nothing, Slim. You know what I'm
gonna go back. I need to go back and I'm gonna go back because I think I screen recorded that part when she was giving those instructions, and I'm gonna repost it. I'm gonna go and look for that.
Yeah,
tonight.
We find that we're gonna repost that, man, because you know what I'm saying. Like I said, I never really followed nothing. It's truly and really I'm wanna write a blog and write my expression of my feelings on how this really affected me. You know what I'm saying? Like how a lot of people like, where was you when 9/11? Where I was when the Guyger case had me in my feelings, my emotions and everything too. It's like if that was my son. You know what I'm saying?
And hopefully a couple people reached back out to me because I was definitely taking names of everybody that was affiliated and talking on the case. So I'm going to wait a couple days, and I'm definitely going to reach out, to see if we can maybe do, even if it's a Skype or audio interview, with any of them, even whether it's the witnesses or people that was part of the case. I'm being serious.
Yeah.
I got a whole list of all of their names. It's about 10 names of people I was going to contact because I definitely would like to go further and, like you said, and so because of some other stuff, and I would just like to know a lot of the other behind-the-scenes things that we don't know and that they aren't telling us.
That they aren't telling us, you know what I'm saying? But it's supposed to be transparent. It's supposed to be public knowledge. You know what I'm saying? So that's
Correct.
more the reason of my conspiracy theory that I feel it's the powers that be or somebody don't want this case. Like, well, it's just like the typical cases anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's like, police on tape beating the shit out of Rodney King, tape what's his name, Aaron Gardner,
Right.
choking, choking them, and on tape killing our black men and going to court and it's getting off. So, it's like hey, but this case just took a real twist. And if anybody has any comments or anything to add on to what we were saying today, feel free to email us at bemoreopenllc@gmail.com or hit us on all the social media platforms. Roll Trolls Instagram. that's our stomping ground. Instagram, our stomping ground. You know what I'm saying? I'm more like on a Twitter person now. You know what I'm saying? You can hit us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and we on a whole lot of
everything. Right, all the social media platforms. Hit us up, follow us, subscribe, like, share, and comment on this video, please. And also our episode we just added to Castbox the other day. So we on Castbox too. So Castbox, y'all go follow us. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So we on everything, and let us know what y'all think about this case, you know what I'm saying? And if it's something that we missed or something that, we didn't discuss or whatever, let us know, you know what I'm saying? Please leave a comment. And I also wanted to say this too real quick before we end Rome too. And again, y'all, we're really serious about, trying to expose different cases or talk about different cases that's dealing with the criminal reform. So if you feel like you have a loved one or if it's you that's been through a case or going through a case, a pending trial, or something where you feel like you was unjustly, incarcerated or unjustly charged, or just anything where you feel like if something was done wrong to you or a loved one or a friend, hit us up and let us know so we can talk about it. Yeah, and that's one thing that we need to do, as the African American race is to talk about this stuff, the situations, and make things together and get together. So, if we stand together, then can't nobody do nothing against it. You know what I'm saying? Not at all. We it's much bigger, much bigger than this whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Much bigger than this whole thing. I just thank everybody for listening to this, to all our other episodes, for, following us, for friending us and everything. I just want to thank y'all. We definitely appreciate the ones that support. Yeah, I support everybody, even the haters. Even the haters. I like that. Yeah, even those too. You know what I'm saying? We got love for y'all too. When y'all don't have love for us, we have love for y'all too. So we're gonna end this, and I'm Rome, and I'm Rolanda, and this is the Be More Open podcast on the Amber Guyger trial.